Hi, this is Kathleen from Bailey Academy, mom of 5, homeschooling 2 of them, ages 11 and 14. I wanted to share today what we are doing for our morning basket. This is part of our Back to Homeschool series, video number 2. The first video was about our homeschool schedules and routines. There's a little short or reel, whatever they're called in YouTube, that shows a little schedule that I forgot about, but this is the official second video, and we're going to talk about morning basket. We are doing morning basket very differently than we did before, and quite differently, I think, than most people do morning basket or morning time or whatever they call it. Usually it's related to their group subjects. For some families who are Christian, their Bible time, but it could be like science or history or anything that's done together, as well as like sometimes extra things like extra holiday things or art appreciation, things like that. What we do is, I do have one group subject, which is history, but I don't count that under morning basket. So morning basket for me is like extra things that I want to include, like that's not like a full class, like life skills or a cool book I found or a neat video, something about the holidays, that sort of thing. So what I did was, our morning basket is going to be only on Fridays, but it's going to be longer. The only thing we do on Fridays is morning basket and history. We will do history first, even though morning basket should, and none of this is in the morning, by the way. We're doing history first just so that if time doesn't allow, or we're just really not feeling it, I can skip some of morning basket or all of morning basket if it needed be. But the idea is we're only doing it once a week, so it shouldn't be so hard. We don't normally do, well, we used to do read aloud, and then we're reading aloud fiction, children's fiction, and we just weren't, it wasn't working for us. I did a video, which I will link in the description, of why we ditched read aloud. I'm not saying that other people should. I'm just saying, or even that we should. I'm just saying that's why we ended up, in it at the end of the year. However, I have a better idea of how we can do read alouds in the future. So first of all, we're going to read longer on Friday if we do a fiction read aloud. We're going to read lots of nonfiction books, but if we do tackle a fiction book, it's not going to be right away because they have other books that they're reading throughout the year. But it'll only be one that, I'm really sure that both the kids might like. But other than that, we're mostly reading nonfiction. And they're mostly going to be reading picture books, which are, of course, not as long, and then we can just be done in one day, and it's not a big deal if we don't get back to it because we already finished it. This right here next to me is our homeschool cart, and in this green bin right here, well, besides their chore thing at the moment, is our morning basket thing. Now, I want to show you what I have in here and some ideas that I had for morning basket, but I'm going to change it up each time that we do it, and I'm going to get library books as well. So first of all, I have the Essential Social Skills Handbook for Teens. Although one of my children is not a teen yet, they're old enough that this is fine. So this is fundamental strategies for teens and young adults to develop self-confidence, overcome anxiety, and expand their social network in the 2020s. And I figured we could just read through this on some days. Zoom my kitty. There's a kitty right here. Okay, this is called A Number of Things. Stories of Canada Told Through 50 Objects by Jane Urquhart, maybe. I got this from, I forget if this was a book outlet one. I think it might have been a book outlet one. And I like adding more Canadian things in. So it's like one chapter's about a canoe, one chapter's about a shoe, one chapter's about a cross-cut saw, one's about a barn, and it talks about specifically the specific item or what. Yeah, it's not really helpful. 50 Canadian objects that tell us who we are in a way never before done. So that sounded interesting. We started this last year, Eat That Frog for Students, 22 Ways to Stop Procrastinating and Excel in School. So we will continue with this. And again, it's not like we do this every day. Some days we might do this for a couple weeks, or we might just do this and then next week do that. I really just want to decide each week what I feel like doing. My cat is jiggling the camera. Stop it. I have a couple of old worksheets from summer school that we sort of abandoned, just in case I feel like using it. These, got some map work. These are the maps of Canada, where they can label the provinces and territories, as well as mark the oceans as well as mark the capitals. So my grade 9 will be learning where the capitals are, making sure he knows that, and the grade 6 will be making sure she knows at least what every province and territory is called and how to spell them. We went over it last year, so they should know it, and then eventually I can change it out for other maps, because this is like those things that you can change out what's in them, and they're still dry erase. That is what's in there. But I'm also going to add extra stuff. So I usually also add things for the upcoming holidays. So like when Halloween is coming, we might do, well, sometimes we do like Halloween school on Halloween, but like otherwise, if I wanted to add extra things, whether it's Halloween, Christmas, or whether it's Arbor Day or something like that, I will add any of those activities into the Friday before that holiday. And also I have, like I said, I put in my library website, you can make lists in your account. And so I made a list for all kinds of things, but I have a list for Fun Friday. It's not necessarily called that, but that's what I listed it. And I have over 57 different either picture books or like not as long books about various different things that I have found recommended somewhere or just looked interesting. I'm going to turn you around in a minute and show you at least some of them. And I have them there so that I can just place, if they're available, place hold when I do eat my round of books at the end of every month. I put a bunch of books on hold and then go get them for the next month or so. So at the end of this month, I'll be getting a bunch of books ready for September, and I'll pick a couple books for our Fun Friday. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to tell you before I turn you around. But yeah, basically we're just going to do our morning basket is things I want to teach them both or go over, or fun activities that I want to include both of them for, and maybe a read aloud. Oh, I know, I forgot something very important. I also got some brain food. So from homeschoolbreakroom.com, she's also on YouTube. I will link her in the description. She has a website. On her website, she has a page about brain food, and it says daily tidbits for curious homeschoolers, answers to their curious questions in 20 minutes a day. So she offers these for free. Once the year is done, they go onto her store and you buy them, or I might be saying that wrong, something like that. But they're available for free right now. So I downloaded all of last year, and each one, sorry, cat. I'll show you when I turn the camera around, but each one links to a certain day. So it's got like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're just going to pick and choose, so it's actually going to last us longer. It's like, it's kind of hard to read, but it's really small. I will turn you around and show you. So I have those, and I'm also curating a bunch of YouTube videos that I just think are interesting and fun, and on a YouTube list, and that we can watch some of those as well, so we can have not just reading, but also those as well. And of course there's games and field trips that we can include as well. All right, I'm going to turn you around. Okay, so this is the Homeschool Break Room website, and this is her brain food that she has is right here. And when you scroll down, right now they're all free. So they're by a certain month, and you can download them. And it says things like this, like, how do Pillsbury dough cans work? Is this the oldest photo of a first lady? A lamp that saves 1,000 lives. So they're all cool, interesting videos that also are educational in some way. Is this what Julius Caesar looked like? QR codes, how they work in just 90 seconds. And you click on them and they go right to the YouTube video. So we can just call this up, open one, and watch it.
Stop. Don't scan this QR code. You're gonna get rickrolled. But like, how can this blob of pixels even store the link to anything? What?
Alright, I don't think I can show that, but so that is something we're going to be using, all those brain foods. And then here is my website list for my, a list of books that I have on my library. And so I have Wants versus Needs versus Robots, Who is Elton John? That's one of those Who Is books. Prairie Boy, Frank Lloyd Wright Turns the Heartland into a Home. Amazing Animal Journeys, 99 Maps to Save the Planet. Where did my clothes come from? How did that get in my lunchbox? The Story of Food. Butt faces. I'm sure they'll like this. Can you tell which end you're looking at, butt or face? So some of them are more funny and some of them are more educational. The Great Lakes are freshwater treasure. We live on the Great Lake, near the Great Lakes, I mean. Who is Jane Goodall? The Noisy Paint Box, The Colors and Sounds of Kandinsky's Abstract Art. Ben Franklin's Big Splash, the mostly true story of his first invention. Pando, A Living Wonder of Trees. Mornings with Monet. Apparently I have this one in here twice. This is me, a story of who we are and where we came from, and there's so many more. If you want a video that shows all of them, or I can show, which ones, I don't know, I guess I could continue. If anybody wants to, they could skip over it. I have, what was the Hindenburg? Seahorse, the shyest fish in the sea. What was the bombing of Hiroshima? First on the moon, what it was like when man landed on the moon. What was Pearl Harbor? What was D-Day? What was the Ice Age and what was the Holocaust? What was Pompeii? Big Wig, a little history of hair. Caves, what do you do with a tail like this? How to clean a hippopotamus, a look at unusual animal partnerships. Island, a story of the Galapagos. You forgot your skirt, Amelia Bloomer. Plants can't sit still. Almost gone, the world's rarest animals. Blue, a history of the color as deep as the sea and as wide as the sky. Snack, snooze, skedaddle, how animals get ready for winter. The boy who invented TV, the story of Philo Farnsworth. Living color. Supermarket, what is the story of the headless horseman? Water can be. Sisters and brothers, sibling relationships in the animal world. Eye to eye, how animals see the world. Mapping the world. Down, 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 a journey to the bottom of the sea. All 13, the incredible cave rescue of the Thai boys soccer team. Mr. Ferris and his wheel. Actual size. Animals in the house, a history of pets and people. The Forbidden Schoolhouse, the true and dramatic story of Prudence Crandall and her students. Just a Second, a different way to look at time. Grand Canyon. How to find a bird. Look again, the secrets of animal camouflage. Can you believe it? How to spot fake news and find the facts. Houses, habitats, and home life. A street through time. And How Rude, the teen guide to good manners, proper behavior, and not grossing people out. That is 57 books that I can't recommend as I haven't read them yet, but that we will be working through this school year. And that is it. So that is what we're going to be doing for Morning Basket this year. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Doing Morning Basket once a week and doing it more like our extra things that I always want to include. I have other books for sure that I can include and add in as needed. And I'll come up with the new stuff, I'm sure. But that is what the ideas are for now. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.